Warning. Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, and violence. Listener discretion advised. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I'm Robert, or Bayushi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Jeanne, and I am playing Doji Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Akoto Richi.
I'm Tiff, and I'm playing Kuni Yui.
I'm Paul, and I'm playing Shishiro Bisho.
You all get up, towel off, get into your yukata that they've provided for you for your pre-dinner bath, and you go back to your rooms, and laid out for you are several trays of food, and each tray is filled with about more than a dozen different plates full of small bites to eat. Sauces, vegetables, of course, rice, but then selections of fish and tempura and things like that, all laid out for you, and a whole other tray just full of drink, tea and sake and all the rest. And you just have this bountiful meal set out before you, brought in by the staff.
I wonder what Sun-san thinks of this. Should we invite her in now?
I mean, it would be rude to not invite her.
Of course.
Well, I'm digging it.
Indeed.
So Sen comes in with Sueno, and they join. Staff brings in an additional set of trays of food for them, and they all pour you drink, and they ask if you would like any entertainment for the evening. Someone to come by, tell some jokes, maybe someone to play a song, biwa, shamisen, anything like that.
Oh, Shami-san, of
Ooh.
course.
Ooh.
Very well. We'll send up a player in just a few minutes. Please enjoy your meal. And yes, there's just this spread just set out all before you for you all to enjoy and fill your bellies after a few days on the road.
This place is fancy. I don't think I've been to a place this fancy before.
It's been a long time.
It's pretty standard.
It's a nice little inn. It's not bad.
Agreed.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and dig on in.
Well, I've got to wait for Sen.
Way ahead of you.
Oh no, Sen and Sueno have joined you.
Yeah.
They've all been seated, and like I said, brought in trays of food for them as well. So yeah, it's the six of you all sitting around, and you guys can start eating. In a few moments, a shamisen player will come in and start to play for you as well.
Sen, would you like some sake? You had some yet?
I would love some. I've been toasted with sake for as long as I can remember. Might as well get to tasting it on the other side.
Oh, fantastic. Here. And Yui not only gives her like a full, like pours a full cup for her, but like places like the little, like a little thing full of it in front of her also.
Okay. And she kind of raises it up, almost like a priest making an offering, and then looks around to all of you. And the kampai, I think, is what is said in times like this. And she
Kampai.
bottoms up, and yeah, just goodness. Another.
If you're feeling it.
Yeah.
Speech.
Yeah.
It's bracing. Yeah, and Yui just picks up the carafe, pours her another one, and yeah, before long, Sin is all rosy cheeked and digging into the food and with abandon. And so she's just kind of joined in with you, very much different than the way she was kind of keeping people at a bit of a distance earlier.
Yo, food and sake go together so well. It's just that much better, you know?
All right. If you think that's good, wait for this. Because again, this is the fire leaf sake. Try it with the salmon.
And she takes a bit thing of the salmon and pops that into her mouth, chews it up, swallows, and then chases it with some of the sake, and just her eyes go wide and big and just I've got to try that again. And she, reaches across and plucks a piece from Michi's plate. You don't mind, do you?
Oh, go right ahead.
She takes that one in, and yeah, she is just like she is experiencing all of this for the first time, and just her inner glutton has just decided to make an appearance. Ricci would call it a gourmand, but she is definitely just taken by this entire spread of food and the drink, and is just totally into the moment of the sensation of eat and drink and companionship in this very moment, and she is just adoring it.
Now, I will warn you, you don't want to drink too much.
No.
Saki has
let her find out. Let her find out.
I can't do that, Yui. I can't do that. Saki has a tendency to make people lose their mind. And the morning after is not fun. If you, at least you're going... No, I can't do that, Yui. I'm sorry.
It's not like you forget where your head is, and yes, this is how you learn.
Yeah, she's like,
this is part of initiation. Part of probably part of at least some Genpuku. It's just you go until you can't anymore.
It's educational, and she kind of offers her glass over to Yui to refill it.
Okay, I just want to let you know that when morning comes, Yui, you've got to take care of her.
Okay.
I've tried my bit, and I just go back to getting some of the miso soup that's been offered.
Yeah, I think you're very dutiful in your warning, and I think it's entirely appropriate. But this is kind of
thank you again, and also back to you, Yui. Yes, this is a Genpuku. That was my Genpuku, was making sure I could stay up throughout the entire night. It was unofficial, but it was kind of that way.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody goes through that Genpuku, depending on your friends.
The second Genpuku.
Maybe 12.
It was more than the second, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, no. It happens multiple times, but, like, immediately after you pass, that's when this one happens, the first time.
I'll say.
And you spend the morning in the bushes.
The feast immediately after past Genpuku at Shizuko Toshi is an extremely trying and arduous affair, and if you showed any wavering of your resolve, let's just say you would be the gossip of the castle the next day, and it could reflect badly on your initial assignments.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know that feeling. My buddy, Takayuki, he is a bard and just happened to let the province know what happened the night of my Genpuku. I still don't live it down.
Okay.
And what happened?
Yeah, you can't.
You're just going to hear the story from a proper bard. I just can't. It would be impolite for me to tell it incorrectly. You would have to hear it from the bard.
Sin sets down her cup like with great gravity and solemnity. No, you will tell us.
Oh, okay. Well, it was a long night of drinking, and well, the best way I can put it, again, there's a lot to it. There's a lot I don't remember about it myself because there was a lot of drinking. But it really comes down to that I spent the night in the stables beside the horse. I don't remember how I got there. I don't even remember waking up there. That's what I've been told, is that I wound up in the stables.
Sin just starts slapping her knee, laughing. She's just thinking this is the funniest thing she's heard all night. And very discreetly, Sueno has reached over and confiscated her cup and is trying to hide it underneath one of the other trays at the moment.
My question is, mare or stallion?
I don't remember. That's the worst part.
That's not the best
Nobody will
question.
tell me this.
That's not the best
Oh, yeah.
question. The best question is who was wearing the fundoshi?
At that point, Richi gets real red in the cheeks, like redder than normal from the sake. It just gets real red and just doesn't say a word.
Oh, that answers it. That answers it. Yui just like slams her fist on the table. It's just like
Gen has the most innocent look possible with the amount of alcohol she's drunk.
All right, that was my Genpuku story. All right, it's your turn. Someone else other than me. Someone, please.
Again, were you the talk of the castle after yours?
Not really. I
Sueno kind of smiles a little bit to herself. Oh, go on. You can tell them.
All right. It was a 5.5-hour feast. And somewhere between the boiled clams in sake with just a sprinkling of spring onion and the mild fifth soup with tofu and miso paste, I may have had enough that I thought it would be very relevant to share with... She sighs. Everyone, basically. The life cycle of the lunar moth. That's it.
Oh, that had to go over well.
Yeah, and Sueno just starts laughing. And, you had to be. She just kept going on, and no amount of hints or suggestions.
They're a foot across. They're huge.
that's
They're
classic
beautiful.
again. That is classic. You know, I thought, honestly, you were gonna say something like, you ate one of the, like the, what's it called? The thing crane do where they like put stuff that's not supposed to be eaten next to the other stuff to make it look prettier.
Oh, hors d'oeuvres.
No,
the
those
garnishes.
No. Yeah, that's what I thought you. Because let me tell you, the first time I went to just like I happened to be at a crane feast. It was apparently
You went to a crane feast?
Oh, I didn't mean to.
This I want to hear.
Yeah.
So okay. So there was this job, right? Crane lands, probably Maho. We got to check out every report. Doesn't matter whether or not it is. This one, it seemed less likely, so, they sent us. Right? So, as my senpai is out, following up on a lead, and they're like, all right, just stay here, stay somewhere here in this building, right? Keep your eye out, nothing crazy. Go around the back, something like that. And, well, I thought I saw like a couple people all going in the same direction. I'm like, well, okay. And then like some sort of like, oh, are you going to the thing? And I'm like, yes, I don't know. And they like kind of shuffled me towards, I guess, a feast in progress. I don't know if it was someone's Genpuku or whatever. It was just a party. And it must have been like, I don't know. It must have been in progress for a while already because like everyone was just kind of, very crane and stately talking to each other. But I wasn't the only non-crane there. So like, But, they're like, oh, have some food, have this. And I look at the stuff and I don't recognize it. It all looks so pretty. So I grabbed what I thought was the prettiest thing, which turned out was not actually, what they were trying to serve me, it was did you call it? A garnish? It was a flower, I think. Some kind of flower plant. It did not taste that good. I was not very impressed, but then the couple cranes around me just started laughing. The servant just kept the straightest face, props to them, but like
Did they offer you more of it?
It's that's about the point where I realized that there was something wrong when they were laughing and asked if I would like more of that. And I said, "Oh no, no thanks. It's not all that flavorful." Then they laughed harder, and I'm like, "Ooh, I don't know what's happening," and I left. So,
yeah. Oof. Well, okay, good to know then.
so yeah, just be careful if you ever go to a crane. I mean, again, you already know this. Just be careful.
Perhaps maybe if you were
It'll be
actually invited, it might have gone a little better.
Maybe. Maybe.
So, Bisho, tell us about your Genpuku.
I don't think anyone wants to hear that. That was a lifetime ago.
Yeah, Bisho, tell us about your Genpuku.
What do you mean?
I'm curious.
It's only like, you're the same age we are. It's can't have been more than, 5 years ago. 4 years ago? No, 3 years ago.
I'm blessed with a face that does not change too much over time. I mean, you probably haven't noticed the stray gray hair here and there, but I'm a little bit older than all of you.
What did you mean? We were at Kutenmatsu together.
Yeah. And have I changed? I just have one of those faces. I'm more in my 40s.
This just makes me want to hear Genpuku's story even more.
Yeah, me too.
Not getting out of this.
Well, my Genpuku took the same place as a, rather tragic death. So it was a little overshadowed. And the whole geisha house was weeping, and it attracted some unpleasant company. There are certain yokai that are attracted to tragedy and sadness, and, well, frankly, they just bring down everything to feed off everyone's sadness. So we had to bring up the levity. And it was quite like this, a big feast, lots of drinking, and 12 hours of singing to get rid of this certain yokai. That's about it.
That doesn't sound like a Genpuku at all.
As I said, tragic deaths overshadowed what I had as a Genpuku.
Well, that's not the kind of story you want at all. All right, different one. Tell us a funny story, Bisho.
Yeah, we need something to raise the mood again.
Funny story.
Funny story. And Bisho, really tries his best to think of a funny story.
Sin has started to kind of lean over towards Bisho, almost like she's starting to fall over into his lap, and she mumbles something about tell them about tell them about that time you played a song and you got the worst kind of attention.
No. No. Bisho just kind of turns white and kind of gets up and leaves.
Sin just kind of curls up on the floor there, and she just starts to just snore ever so softly to herself. She is now drunk way too much, ate too much food, and she is out for the night. But Bisho is not in the mood for her for her antics in his left.
I just look directly at Yui and just mouth the words, "Your responsibility."
Yui just looks at you. It sees you mouthing something. It's just like, you want more?
No, I'm good.
Because I want more. Who else wants more? Sen's good. Just me?
I'll
It
have
just
another
takes
glass.
whatever's left of the container and just starts drinking.
Just right from the carafe.
Gen reached out with her cup, but when you started that, she's like took it back, and her eyes are just following Bisho out the room, and she sort of says half to herself, if he's 40, why was he pretending to be our age at Kudenmatsu? We were children.
Sueno just kind of says to everyone, just, well, I mean, I think they were just telling tales. I didn't think it was all that serious. I think they just wanted to get out of sharing any of the stories. There's no way they could be 40, right?
Yeah, that guy's got lots of tales to tell.
Richu just shoots a glare over at Yui.
He
Pass
said
me the
he's
crab
gonna
leg.
stick with us,
Yeah.
but he's lying.
Well, I mean, at the other side of side of it could be that the Scorpion have, definitely used his youthful looks to send him into situated courts like that to get to know the next generation. I don't know.
It's possible there's a lot going on.
He's not lying. He's Scorpion. Plus, he wears a mask anyways. Who can tell? Right?
Right.
I think there is a lot going on with Bisho. It'll take time. I think all it will take is a little bit of time, and he'll open up to us a little bit more. We just there's a lot that's been happening.
I guess. I feel like I still don't understand what's going on, even if he told us about the other worlds in the bathtub. But it is all kind of crazy anyway.
Yeah, just I don't know. Let the rest of the night take you without any kind of worries. Let Bisho do Bisho, and we'll do what we need to do. Tomorrow's going to be a big day.
I am not gonna spend all my time in Foxlands only studying in the library.
Wouldn't expect you to.
Sueno's like, well,
I've
what did you have in mind?
memorized enough ledgers. I can't. I'm going to go for a walk.
We are in. We do have a little bit of a time crunch to worry about, but I think we can take a day or two to relax and recuperate. We need it. We all need just a little bit of rest.
I am going to go for a walk, and I am going to do an essay of a good at least quarter mile of the forest. I'm going to see what I can find. I am going to find a population density of the top species while I'm here.
Are you good to do that at night?
Sueno should go
Not
with
at
you. Don't get lost.
night. Not at night. I had too much to drink tonight. But I'm not going to
tomorrow.
do it tomorrow.
And with that, Sueno kind of helps you up and says, I think you've had enough to eat and drink tonight. Let's get to bed early so we can do that essay first thing in the morning, shall we?
All right. Do we need to pick up Sen and put her in a futon?
Oh,
We should probably pick
yeah,
up
we
Sen
should
and
probably
put her
do
in a
that.
futon.
I can take care of that. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yui, you
Again.
still up for drinking?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
There's
we
another
can-
carafe right there. Just pass it on
Besides,
over.
you had a bet, and you bet on me, and you lost because I lost. Good night.
That's not what we bet on.
No, we didn't have a bet on you.
And with that, I think Gin is probably still railing against the bet. As Sueno's like, yeah, no, I think it was about something else, but that's all right. And she kind of guides her out of the room and just kind of just motions back at you all like, I'm gonna take care of her. I'm gonna just all right.
Richie just does that quick nod, like, yeah.
Yeah, you was just loving the energy of Gen, just being like, you did it. She's like, yeah, you tell him.
And when it's just the two of us back in the room, Richie
at this point, the player has decided it's time. The night has wound down, and now it's just you and Yui alone.
Richie won't drink Richie won't drink anymore, but we'll hang out here with Yui.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, that fire leaf stuff, it's pretty good.
Pretty good, isn't it? Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah. Pass me the rest of that miso.
Here you go.
Thank you.
I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this. I believe these are. Well, I haven't seen any salt here, but
it's in the miso.
Oh well, yeah, that's true.
Because that's how you make. Yeah. Anyways,
I think I'm gonna try some of these mushrooms here. They look pretty good.
Oh yeah, they're really good. I've tried everything at least once.
Yeah, you dug right on into everything.
Yeah.
I guess I don't have that much food on the wall.
How about you? How are you? How are you? How is Richie doing?
I'm doing pretty okay. Just trying to wrap my head around all this that's going on between the whole fortunes thing, the criminal elements going on, and now here with Sin Sama. Just trying to wrap my head around everything and make sure I'm in the right place myself.
See, but that's the thing. Can't wrap your head around everything. I mean, I've tried. I'm not saying I'm not the only person who's tried. So many people tried. That's how monks happen. Like, not even the kind like me, usually the kind that's like they stay and sit and think for the rest of forever. You know?
Like those crazy Tagashi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to figure out the universe or the heavens or anything like that. I just wanted to know what's going on around here. But like,
what's going on around here?
Well, I mean, like, we're sitting here, like, we literally just dined with a fortune. We got her drunk.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
I mean, yes, it was, but that's just crazy. That's insane to me that we could interact with the heavens so directly.
I mean, Shukenja do that kind of stuff. And like the stuff that I have felt when I meditate in the things, the things that I can see sometimes, the energy around some people, like, dude, you can't wrap your head around all of it. It's why we all do different things. It's why I hunt Mahot Sky and mostly try to travel, honestly. I mostly just try to travel because I don't want to go back to Crablands. Like, ever. I probably shouldn't tell you that, but, you know, it's fine. You're cool.
Yeah, I'll admit I am a little bit apprehensive about heading back to my own holdings and such. Not my holdings, but my fiance's.
But like, why? It's not like you have to go back and like maybe fight undead. Like,
No, I just have to fight living opponents. Which, don't get me wrong, I'll be happy to take on anybody that needs it, but it's the fighting I'm okay with. The politicking I'm not so much.
that's why you try to leave that to other people who are better at that. You know, why do you have to do the politicking? You know?
To put it in a very blunt way, I am an Akodo in a Matsu land.
Oh, that kind of politicking of like trying to like fit in. Not stand out too much.
Try not to stand out too much, but at the same time, I stand out because I was trained as a medic. I'd rather be out there leading. I'd rather be out there dueling. I'd rather be out there doing and fighting the way my own parents fought. But instead, I've been taught how to save a life.
Wow. I didn't know you. Why did you get trained as a medic then, if you didn't want to? I thought samurai could do whatever they wanted.
If only it were that simple. No, this was part of my arranged marriage. My fiance's grandfather had put down the blade and learned the style of a medic and was looking for an apprentice. And so part of the terms for it were that I were to learn the ways of being a medic of the Kitsu school under my Matsu grandfather-in-law. I didn't even have a choice. My parents died at an early age, and my uncle left me to a Shika matchmaker who made the deal. So I didn't get to choose to go to the Akodo school. I was forced into the Kitsu medic school. And so I have the power of life and death at my hands. Except it's not by my choice. Instead of trying to take a life for my clan, I have to try to save a life for my clan. I don't get to fight. I get to be held at the back lines. And
You're good at fighting, though. I've seen you.
Uncle really helped me out on that one. He found out what happened, took a little bit of pity on me, and taught me a little bit of the ways of the blade, where my sensei would not.
Oh, I see. So, I mean, but I thought but as a don't you get to, I thought like political marriages were, like always like a big deal, not like, or like, I don't know.
Oh no, it's still a big deal. Just not big a deal to me or to her, apparently. Yeah, Akane's not happy with the arrangement. I've been trying to make things better and trying to impress her, but nothing I do ever happens. I don't get to earn any kind of glory on my own, so nothing else is coming to our household outside of what she does, and it's a little depressing, honestly. You know what? I think I will have me some more of that sake.
Yeah. All right. You have more.
And at that point, just takes the carafe and just downs a large drink.
Nice. Yeah, this is the kind of energy. Yes, exactly. Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's, yo. So have you thought like, I don't know, of just doing something else or even, I don't know, running away or something?
Lord, no. What? No. You said that very lightly. I'm not going to abandon my duty to my clan or to my family.
I didn't mean like that, but
I mean,
guess...
would you run away from hunting down Mahotsukai?
It's not my favorite part of the job, It's not usually why I don't take the job because I have some passion in, you know, hunting people down, hunting monsters down. That's not what I live for. This is the kind of stuff I honestly live for. But, you know,
Telling
you do what
sad
you have
stories over a bottle of sake.
Sad stories only sad if you think they are. They don't have to be. We can decide that it's only sad right up till right now. And we can decide for ourselves that we're going to make it a happier story. We're going to decide, and it's just like slams the table again. We can decide right now that we're just going to have a good time. We've got great food, great drinks, and good company. Even Sen, who is now asleep, and even the other two who are now gone. That's fine.
Yeah, we do have a good company. This is good. Yeah, that's true. Didn't think it would come down to this. But yeah, this has been good.
No one thought it would come down to this. But do you have any idea how nice it is to have an excuse to not have to go back to Crablands and not have to go back to specifically hunting down any or following up on any reports? Like I said, this is the part that's important. And this is the part that you, samurai, don't even understand how good you have it.
Wait, what do you mean, you samurai?
Well, you know, because...
Wait, hang on.
I don't think I've had enough dumplings. Why don't you pass me like 12 of those?
I will. Just answer me this one question. What do you mean, you samurai?
I mean, fine. I can't tell anyone, I guess, because it's weird. It's rumors or whatever. I mean, I wasn't born a samurai.
Oh. Okay. How did you get to be a samurai then?
I got picked up. I got picked up off the streets after starting fights. I was a little Spitfire back then. I'm still a little Spitfire, but no, I'm a big Spitfire now.
That you are, yes.
Yeah, I'm good at stuff. I worked really hard to get here. I earned this, but I didn't, like, you know, I didn't earn this. Or I guess maybe I did and some of the others didn't. I got lucky. I got really lucky. I could have spent my whole life just me and Kai just starting shit.
Who's Kai?
That's my brother.
I didn't realize you had a brother. Was he also picked up at the same time?
Yeah. I haven't seen him in a long time.
That's the nature of the life, I suppose.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, he also kind of disappeared, but, you know.
Oh.
Anyways.
I didn't realize he had disappeared. I'm sorry.
You wouldn't have realized because I didn't talk about it, because I didn't need to talk about it, because I'm not supposed to talk about it. And that reminds me, I'm not supposed to talk about this. So, I would like those dumplings, please.
Yeah, here are the dumplings. And if you're not supposed to talk about it, then we will not talk about it then.
I might talk, yes.
But if you ever need to talk about it, you can let me know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. You're good. You're a really good person, Richie.
So are you, Yui.
I hope that's true.
I think so.
It is about this part where Yui, like, putting, like, a second dumpling in her mouth just sort of, like, sinks into the table and just, like, dumpling half in her mouth, close her eyes.
And then Richie will carry Yui back to her room and make sure she is settled away for the evening.
the next morning after all that, and well, some of you might be feeling the effects of a bit of a hangover after all that heavy drinking yesterday. It feels good to have had the downtime to laugh with friends and enjoy a good meal and all that. So yeah, new day, new ideas. People have all sorts of new plans for this for today. So let's go ahead and start with Ricci.
Well, the first thing that Ricci's going to do is going to go to that armorer's shop I went to yesterday and go ahead and start working on the armor, getting it repaired up and ready to go.
Sounds good. All right. How about for Gen?
For myself, I asked for a sewing kit to be brought to my room because I also have to repair my traveling clothes before I go out in the field.
Oh yeah, an easy request. They have sewing kits here. Yeah, definitely. People have had their clothes caught on this or that, or after being accosted, need to do some minor repairs and all that stuff. So they have one ready and to be handed over. So yeah, no, they definitely bring one up to your room there. All right. How about for Yui?
Sorry, my onigiri was falling apart.
Oh, that's all right.
Which is probably what happens to Yui the start of the morning, as she's not. It's a metaphor for how she's feeling the next morning.
Yes, her onigiri is just not holding together.
Indeed.
All right. And for Bisho.
Well, Bisho's feeling a little sad and nostalgic, so checking up on some old friends may be a thing to help cheer him up, or make him even more sad, whichever.
All right, well, let's start with that. I like that idea.
Okay.
So, yeah, kind of. Where do you think this might take us? Like, how do you see that playing out?
Well, Kitsune lands are pretty close to most of his stomping grounds, and Bisho gets around, and also Bisho tends to make friends or people that they kind of call friends, just like the current group. And they start thinking of a way to introduce themselves. They try to remember who they were the last time they were here. Might have been about 50, 60 years, maybe sooner. Bisha loses track of time so easily. And they're looking for a Kitsune man named Kyo. That's a good, simple name.
Why not? Yeah, Kyo. Yeah. Kitsune Kyo.
And they're just trying to remember everything they can about this person, and they're like, maybe I'll just be the son of the last scorpion I was in this lands.
All right, why don't you go ahead and make me a TN2 Earth culture check to remember all those times ago, and see how well you can piece these fragments of memory together. All right, so looks like we got two ops here.
Bad memory.
Yeah. So you're not remembering too much from all that time ago, but perhaps you'll get something interesting out of this anyway. So let's go ahead and figure out the ops, and then we'll come up with the failure.
You mean like suddenly recall an important piece of information not directly related to the task?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I love that one for Earth recall.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, Earth is excellent for that kind of stuff.
Try to remember one thing and remember another.
Yeah. All right, so how did that trip down memory lane go?
Well, Bisho is not famous for their memories or their recollection of things. So 2 black dice, both of them with opportunities and strife.
Oof. All right. So yeah, what do you think we want to spend those on? How do we want to do that?
You know, I always like to spend strife on earth checks, remembering something not related to the actual related task.
Okay, so let's go with, so it can't be related to anything about this Kitsune Kyo, who unfortunately you can't remember. You remember the name, but you're not remembering the personality that you had been using at the time. It's kind of all blending together. But let's go with you're remembering something else. So a bit of kind of danger that kind of is eating you at the back of the mind, and you're reminded of an enemy you made here not 50 years ago when you met Kyo, but only 15 years ago. A Kitsune Yoshio is coming to mind, someone that you had made an enemy of. What did you do exactly?
Well, unfortunately, about 15 years ago, 5 years ago, Bisho was still using Bisho. I think about 15, that's kind of when the transition period from last personality to Bisho started. So they were probably trying to find their foothold in life, see what they could get away with, with the new personality. And they may have just stepped over the line, humiliated this Yoshio person, probably not in a flattering way, not in a way that someone could laugh about it 15 years later, but in a way that if Bisho didn't disappear, may have resulted in a duel or someone chasing after them with knives, something like that.
Sounds good. Do they know your secret?
I'm going to say no.
All right. Good to know. So you should hopefully be able to pass through, so long as you don't revert back to the guys that you were under those years ago.
Yep.
But definitely someone to avoid.
Oh, yeah. So they're going to start asking around about Kyo, at least. Definitely about Yoshio. But mostly about Kyo, because that's mainly fond memories there. Or they're just maybe Bisho is forgetting all the bad things like usual.
Yeah. So you go down and you start talking with some of the innkeepers here at the Ryokan, and I don't know. Tell us a little bit about Kyo. What were they like? What did they do?
He was probably, I'm thinking that he was a Shigenja himself,
Okay.
who frequented the Kitsune Mori. And that's probably where Bisho first saw them, because, traveling around as a fox, you tend to stumble on interesting people like that. And you tend to be attracted toward people who have some of the same skill sets. So they became interested in Kyo and started checking them out, maybe following them, maybe meowing like cats. Sorry.
It's all right.
And so the interest in this Kyo probably rose just out of interest of like, hey, I can do magic-y stuff too. And they probably developed a personality around that, and ultimately like greeting Kyo in some human form, which Bisho can't remember right now.
All right. So yeah, no, you talk to them about a Shigenja named Kyo, who you say something about how your father knew them, or maybe your grandfather, and that you'd like to pay your respects. And they're like, well, luckily I don't think you'd have to pay your respects if it's the same the same man. I believe there is a Kyo who tends to one of the uh, one of the groves of trees in the Kitsune Mori.
Huh.
Like, oh, yeah, he might be he might be the same age. I mean, Kyo's not an uncommon name, but being attached to a Shigenja, he tends to think that they might be the same person. And so they give you directions to kind of through the forest. It would take some time for you to get out there, but they definitely give you kind of directions to a sacred tree that they are to take care of. It's kind of set up as a shrine to some of the local forest spirits.
Cool. Bisha will try to follow the directions as best as they can.
All right. So yeah, it takes you a good part of the day to make your way through the town and then out into the forest. Although telling where the forest ends and the city begins is a difficult one here at Kyuden Kitsune. But soon enough, you find yourself coming across trees with the Shimawara sacred ropes around them, denoting that these are sacred trees and that this is a spiritual place. And yeah, you find yourself in kind of this very, I guess you would describe it as kind of an open air shrine to the kami and the forest spirits here. There are small lanterns and statues kind of nestled in amongst the trees and the roots. And yeah, this is where you find yourself. There's a couple people here and there, not many, but you do pick up on them with your senses.
And before Bisho enters what is perceived as the ground, they will do the proper bow clap and enter. If there's a place to cleanse yourself,
Most definitely,
yeah, they will definitely do that too. Do the whole proper things because they personally know Kami and they rather not offend any, because Bisha knows they will definitely hear back.
So yeah, you step through the arch, you make your bows, your claps, you go and wash your hands and your mouth, and you find yourself in this just beautiful grove of trees, and there is one in particular, this old gnarled oak that seems to kind of be the centerpiece of the grounds.
And so how many people are out and about right now?
You could pick up about 3.
All right. Bisha will go to probably the youngest one, just in case they're not able to actually identify Kyo in older age.
Yeah.
And ask about Kitsune Kyo. Sensei, I think, would be the proper term. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, one of the young shrine keepers says, "Oh yes, no. This time of day, Kyo Sensei is probably out enjoying the afternoon sun, sitting amongst his trees," and he kind of directs you to where you could see in the distance, an old man sitting with his back up against a tree, enjoying the afternoon sun and kind of just taking in the afternoon light.
Yeah, I think Bisha will approach and ask if they can join.
Oh. His friend never has to ask permission to sit with another. Come now.
Oh, so you remember me?
If it's the same one I knew all those years ago, I think so. And he kind of looks over at you, and you see that their eyes are clouded with cataracts, and that they are more than likely blind at this point. But he's got a warm smile amongst the wrinkled features. But you can see that this is the man Kyo that you knew years and years ago.
It sort of shakes Bisho seeing someone get so old, because they don't usually stick around that long, or if they do end up coming back, usually a person is dead. It's one of the things you have to handle when you live, over 400 years.
Yep.
And Bisha will sit and sit down, I think, to their right, to show that they're just a guest here, and smiles. And we'll ask Kyo. I hate to admit this, but I have forgotten how long it actually has been since we last met.
I have to say, it's probably the same for me. At this age, I'm forgetting more than I fear I learned.
Though it seems like your spirit is still very strong.
No, I do my best. I still have much to pass on to the next generation before I go. I have to remember a few things.
It's been such a long time. I regret not visiting you more. I've been busy's not the appropriate word, but I think it will do for right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have come to understand a bit more of who you might be over the years. I have, if I'm not misplacing my bets there, that you are like some of the others I have met over the years here. They come and go as they want. It is your nature.
I think Bisha's gonna get a little more strife from that because of the false identity. It's just
right, yeah.
Bisha's just hit over composure. Yay. Though they're alone, he doesn't mind if a tail slips out, or
no, not at all. In fact, he can't even see it.
Bisho just kind of gives a nervous laugh and just says, when was the first time you figured that out?
Oh, I think it was when he gives again that big toothy smile of his and says, I think it was when we chased after those two girls, and they made fools of us both for our brash courtings, and kind of it was that time that I realized that, when you took on almost a totally other self at that time, almost like you could avoid who you were by becoming someone else.
I think I remember that situation. Didn't they turn out to be not of this world to begin with?
As they were the first that I thought I had met of the spirits that our family bears their names. Yes, they thought they were the first kitsune I had met, and that I had perhaps won myself a glorious prize. But oh no, it was not the game that I thought we were playing. We were merely player pieces in their game.
Well,
except you surprised them.
Let's say I was more than just one of the frontline pieces.
Oh, good. It's good to remember these times. It's harder and harder to remember my life as a boy. That's really all I was back then.
Well, in some ways, I am still just as foolish. Very foolish as of recently. I have been trying to make more meaningful connections, and not. I feel like I have been failing.
How so?
Well, it's a long story. It's a little crazy, and as you know, I can't speak of most of it, but there was an old friend who just had a baby. And
always a good sign.
Unfortunately, the mother died during the birthing process, and the baby was something special and dear, and well, there were other parties involved that wanted the child, and I took the orders I was given and, well, gave my own interpretations of them, and that did not work out well in the end. I got the job done, but the results were less than phenomenal.
Well, that sounds like you haven't changed much over the years then.
The one can only change their personality so much before something true comes out.
And so you were feeling a bit responsible then for all this?
There's a lot that I have been responsible for. It's just admitting it has been hard.
Well, except you can sit here and speak with an old man about it. Well, why can't you speak with them about it?
Partly some of them don't know the secrets that I have. I mean, the one or two of them do, but not as extensively as the secret actually goes.
Well, again, your taking responsibility doesn't have to include a revealing exactly who you are, does it?
I hope not. It's so much simpler when people that just think I'm a foppish courtier, and yeah, I'm using that excuse again.
Oh, well. I mean, there's only so much time that that we all have. I would I would I would try my best to at least express the way you're feeling to them, if since they sound like they are someone that you care about their opinion of you.
Bisha just kind of looks off in the distance and just sighs a little. It isn't simple ever. Well, I guess you figured it out, and what I am and who I am and what I do. Maybe. Or at least what I am.
It is taken some time. It was definitely something that I wondered about and was perplexed by in my youth, but as I have continued on in service to my clan and been treated with the spirits and those of your kind, I started to piece things together.
You're probably one of the few of my old friends, and excuse the wording there, but one of my old friends that are still alive and may have figured it out.
I am what I am. I can't change or turn back the hands of time. It only continues on.
Yeah, exactly. And he can't see it, but Bisha knows he's doing it, and there is a small tear running down his face.
Oh.
I think we should end that scene.
All right, yeah, with you sitting with the an old man, an old friend in the sun beneath the trees, sharing just a long, comfortable silence between the two of you there. So let's go ahead and pick up with those who are going to be repairing some of their gear. Ricci, your armor has taken quite a beating.
Yeah, quite literally on that regard.
Oh yeah. So you gather up, all the busted, bent, and twisted pieces of it, and you head down to the smith in town to make use of his forge and tools. As he kind of passes the shop off to you, they're going to go ahead and go tend to a few horses and other errands around town, and they're going to leave the forge in your care. Just make sure that you keep the fire topped off and keep it running until he gets back later this evening.
Yeah, I'll try not to burn down the place.
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, one hopes that your clan would be good for it in case you did. And he kind of gives a bit of a nervous laugh at that and kind of eyes you over one more time and hopes he hasn't misplaced his trust in you.
Oh no, Reach just lets out the big roaring laugh that he's known for. Just do not worry, I will take great care of the forge.
I'm sure you will. Take care, Koda-san, and I will Sama, and I will be back later this evening.
I give him the slight bow of the head.
And he heads off with some of his apprentices to go take care of some things that can't be handled just in the shop alone. And you have the place to yourself here.
Excellent. Well, let's get to work.
All right. So I believe that to fix something that is damaged, it is a earth smithing check. But because this has hit the destroyed level, we're going to go ahead and bump it up to a TN3 to get past the destroyed. All right. So how'd that smithing roll go?
Well, I only got the 2 successes and an opportunity. So the way I kind of want to do this is that I follow up on the promise and make sure the forge is going well, make sure the fires are still going, make sure the tools are on the right locations, and kind of focus in a little bit too much on that so that by the time I actually start to work on the armor, the owners have already come back from their work.
Yeah. So, you spend so much time keeping the shop in perfect condition. Your armor has not improved its condition, as it were, but you haven't made it any worse. You did some work on it, but you weren't able to really get it back to where it needs to be. And yeah, the blacksmith is impressed. His shop is in perfect pristine order. If anything, you probably cleaned it up a bit from where he left it. And so, if you're still in town tomorrow, young man, bring it back around and I'll lend a hand and we can hopefully get it the rest of the way to where it needs to be.
That would be very much appreciated. Thank you for the use of your forge in the meantime, and I shall indeed return tomorrow.
Oh, no, thank you for keeping my place in such great shape. No, come by tomorrow and we'll finish up with that armor and get it back to where it needs to be.
Indeed. You have a good rest of the day then.
All right. And you head on back after a long day in the sweat and grime of the forge and bring your it's getting there. It's still busted, but it's you definitely got some laid the groundwork for getting it hopefully finished off the rest of the way tomorrow. Meantime, again, you are sitting up after a good meal and a long night drinking, but you and Sueno are in your room there, and you're going to be tending after your traveling clothes here, which is for you going to be a TN1 Earth design check to get that back to rights. Because yours only has the damage instead of destroyed tags. All right, so how did that design check go?
Well, I got 1 success and 1 opportunity with Strife, so I do manage to repair it. Fortunately, it was not destroyed. And I'd like to spend my opportunity to give my travel clothing the durable quality. And that sounds good. I am taking a little Strife because I am really eager to get out into the field and go find bugs, and this is, I just can't go with my traveling clothes all messed up, so have to do this first.
No, you put in, the extra stitches here and there. You secure whatever toggles or buttons need to be extra reinforced to keep everything together where it needs to be. And now you have a set of durable travel clothes, and looks like you will be all set to crawl around in the forest and go looking for whatever bugs you want to find.
Yeah. And that's my goal.
All right, sounds good. Then let's go ahead and touch base with Yui and see what they might be up to.
Well, so Yui's having a morning. She after getting up quite late, has just decided that she's just going to put as much food and water into herself as possible. As she does feel like an onigiri falling apart.
just all sorts of run down and wore out this next morning, and yeah, you're taking it real slow, asking for definitely something easy to eat and a lot to drink the next day, and you see Gen and Sueno are busy sewing in the next room, and luckily that's a good quiet activity. And Bisho took off earlier, and Richi's off dealing with their armor. And so yeah, you get yourself a good quiet morning and afternoon kind of all to yourself there in the room to kind of recuperate from last night's festivities. I'm Robert, or Bayushi Shinichi, your host and narrator. Thank you once again for listening. Remember to catch new episodes every Monday, and if you want to catch them early or are looking for more bonus content, please consider becoming a supporting member of the Patreon at patreon.com/courtgames. To reach out to us, email the show at fortuneandstrife@gmail.com.
I'm Tiff, and I played Kuniyui. You can also find us on the web at courtgamespod.com, Facebook and Instagram under Fortune and Strife, and Twitter at L5R FNS.
I am Tyler, and I've been playing Akoto Richi. You can find me on Twitter or on Twitch as Churcher Games.
I'm Paul, and I was playing Shishiro Bisho. If you want to follow my other projects, I am the GM of 2 LGBT+ podcasts, Tales of Swordfall at Swordfall D&D for D&D 5e, and Gates of Orchid and Iris at GOIL5R for L5R 5e.
This was Jeanne, aka Kakita Kaori, and also known as, at least today, Doji Gen. If you like, you can also find me on the CourtGames RPG podcast, at the Winter Garden of the Kakita website, or check out The Table Is Yours for fiction readings of the FFG stories.
This has been Fortune and Strife, a Court Games production in association with the Rokugani Historical Society.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.